So if you're just getting on, please go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. Your IFMA board and advisors would love to introduce themselves right now, and just share a little bit about what we're doing here and what we're bringing to the table. I'll just kind of set the tone. This is our Idaho State Day that we are doing in collaboration with the Washington State Farmers Market Association and several other regional market associations around the region. And if you were able to attend some of those boot camp sessions, they were really wonderful. They're designed for new market managers or those who just need a refresher. And then our Idaho Day really builds on that, but also shares with you important information about your association, the Idaho Farmers Market Association, as well as some training and some input from some of our partners. So we have a pretty upbeat and quick agenda for today. I will also share that we are, for the first time, having an actual annual member meeting of our association, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So if you have not already met me, I'm Ariel Agenbrod. I am a University of Idaho faculty member specializing in small farms and community food systems. And so farmers markets are at the heart of everything that I do. The managers, the vendors, the markets themselves, and the communities that they're in. And I have been involved with the Idaho Farmers Market Association from the very beginning, as an advisor, as a supporter, as someone working behind the scenes. And more recently, I have taken on the volunteer role as treasurer for the association, and I'm learning a lot about what that means. But it also means that I get to be in more close contact with all of you, though I know that sometimes I'm not always 100% on top of it, but I'm doing my best. So that's me, and I would love for the rest of our board and our advisors and our two support folks. I can't really call them staff because I'll explain that later, but the very important people that help us make Idaho Farmers Market Association what it is. And so I will just call on each of you if that's okay, and give your spiel. So first up is our board president right now, and that is Melanie Gallup from Gooding Farmers Market. And then Mel, why don't you just call on the next person, and we'll just do it that way and make sure we get all of our board and our advisors and our two support folks.
Okay. So yes, I am Mel Gallup. I'm here in Gooding, Idaho. I run the Gooding Farmers Market. I'm a farmer as well. I run Gallup Family Farms. So I've been part of the association for, I think, 2 years now. Denise wrote me and here I stay. So anyway, that's me. That's kind of me in a nutshell. So Melissa, if you want to go next.
Sure. I'm Melissa Napton. I was on the Idaho Farmers Market board for a while, but then I took the contractor position for the specialty crop block grant. So I've reached out to a few of you, I'm sure, or through email, working on the micro grants for the block grant. And I'm also the Kuski Farmers Market manager. So. And let's go to who's on my screen, Christina or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can go.
All right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christina Tierney, calling in from Boise, and I'm a project manager. I'm the other contractor with the IFMA, and I see so many familiar names and faces, so I'm so glad to see all of you on this call today. So I really specifically work with kind of food access around the state, and really working with our farmers markets to get them approved and set up for accepting SNAP benefits, and then helping them align with our program of Double Up Food Bucks. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you a lot more about that in the coming meeting. So I'll kick it over to Dawn.
All right. My name is Dawn Larslear, and I am a marketing specialist with the Idaho State Department of Agriculture and the Idaho Preferred Program. And I'm an advisory member of the IFMA. offering advice, I guess, for marketing and connecting with consumers. So I will be giving a presentation later, but I've been on the board. This will be my second year. And, there's just something really rewarding about working in local food systems, and I'm happy to be here. So thank you. Next person, Liz.
Thanks, Dawn. My name's Liz Jones. I run the Donnelly Farmers Market. We started it up from scratch, all not knowing what to do when we did it. So I am super thankful to be on the board of Idaho Farmers Market Association. I sit as vice president and treasurer. So it's pretty good little operation, I think, and really hope that we can bring some of you into the fold a little bit more. So that's me. Anybody after me? I can only see 4. Did we get everyone, Ariel?
We have Katie and Denise still.
Aha.
And Andrea, if she's on, but I can't see if she's on yet.
Great. Let's go with Katie. Pass it to you.
Thanks. Sorry, my camera is not wanting to work today, so I'm gonna have to switch laptops. But my name is Katie Baker. I'm the executive director of Fair Idaho. I've been involved with this board probably about 4 years. I think this was the first board I reached out to when Fair got going off the ground in March of 2020. So I'm happy to be here. I'll try to get my camera to work since I will be presenting, but thanks for joining us today. I look forward to it.
And then a friendly face who you may all remember and know very well, who has just recently rejoined the board, and that is Denise.
Hi, everyone. I am Denise Dixon, the director of the Idaho Hunger Relief Task Force, and it's great to be back here with you guys. I have been away for a while, but I'm glad to be on the board. The Idaho Hunger Relief Nonprofit, we are a nonprofit, and we've been around Idaho for 20 years, really tackling everything hunger for Idaho. So I'm happy to be here, and that's it.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna head us off in the direction. So welcome and introductions were first. The next little period of time, and this may not actually take a full hour, depends on how much we talk, but we are going to be holding our first ever annual member meeting. Now, one of the things that we're going to be doing as part of this member meeting is going through the bylaws of the association. We recently revised them and reviewed them because they had not been changed since 2012. And as you could imagine, a lot has changed in the organization and the state and in our market world since then. But one of the things that really jumped out to us in our bylaws was that we are supposed to have an annual meeting, and we've had an annual training every year where we bring our members and our friends together. But we are actually going to, on paper, do an annual meeting this year. So you're all part of that. And if you are not currently an IFMA member, don't worry, it's not going to take very much time. You can go get a snack, make yourself a cup of tea, or listen in and think about how you want to join IFMA and be part of this fun. When we have finished with the annual member meeting, then we are going to move right into our annual training. And again, this is going to focus on some of the things that are really what bring you all to this, this training. We're going to talk a little bit about growing customers through incentive programs like SNAP and Double Up Food Bucks, and give you some updates and some how-tos there. We're going to talk a little bit, have a big open discussion about rules and regulations that are causing you headaches or keeping you up at night. And we're going to put our heads together and think about how we might be able to solve those, or who we need to ask these hard questions. And then we'll finish up by talking about marketing your markets, and we'll hear from Fair Idaho and the Idaho State Department of Ag on some really wonderful opportunities that they have to help you share your story and find ways to support your market through some of the special programs and opportunities that they have. So we're really glad that you're here. I'm going to start off by just doing a really brief, this is the Idaho Farmers Market Association. For those of you that are maybe new, A couple of you on this call are brand new farmers markets, and a few of you are brand new members to the IFMA. So big round of applause virtually for you. Welcome. We are so glad that you're here in the state. We're so glad that you joined the association. So who are we? What are we? Some of you may have joined because you heard that you can get some special perks, and you would absolutely be right on that front. So the Idaho Farmers Market Association, we have been around for about 12 years. We started, actually, it's really amazing that Denise is here, because full circle, the Idaho Hunger Relief Task Force was the first group to support the formation of the Idaho Farmers Market Association. This was back when Kathy Gardner was the executive director. And at one of the summits on food insecurity in Idaho, it was brought up that we didn't have a way to unify the voices of our farmers markets and really have a place at the table when talking about food issues. And also we really wanted the state to extend food stamp benefits to markets in the state and make it easier for them to do that. So we are really excited that that has kind of come full circle. So we are a statewide member-based association created to bring together resources and expertise from around the state to help farmers markets in Idaho thrive. That is our mission. And moving on to that, I want to just really, again, reiterate that all the board and officers are 100% volunteer. At least 50% of our board members are, you'll see this in the bylaws, are going to be market managers. Right now, our board is all market managers except for me in the officer positions. And so, you know, we are you, right? Markets are really first and foremost the needs, the struggles, the challenges of market managers. You know, just the fact that our board members volunteer and they show up for our meetings every month from September to June is really amazing. And we couldn't do anything that we do without them. We are also joined by some advisors who working with farmers markets is either part of their job or part of their passion. And I found that it really is both. And so you met Katie and Don, and formerly myself, I was an advisor, and Denise, who are on the board right now in an advisory capacity. And so we represent organizations and agencies that work closely with markets or support them. But now since we've looked at the bylaws, there is a way for those advisors to move into board positions if they so wish and if they are voted in. And I just also want to mention about the volunteer part, because I know if you get frustrated, if you don't get an email back right away, or it seems like something happened, we're all doing other full-time jobs, and we love this association so much, but we often don't have all the time in the world for it that we would like. We are very fortunate right now to have two very, very, very part-time support people. You met Melissa. She is on independent contract right now through our specialty crop block grant. I think it's like 5 hours a week. It's not much. It's between 5 and 10 hours. And then Christina is being funded through University of Idaho money right now. And we're always trying to figure out how to fundraise and bring more resources in so that we can actually have paid staff that serves all of you around the state. We know we could make a big difference if we had more capacity. So our 2024 board of directors and advisors and support folks, we met Melanie Gallup from Gooding Farmers Market is the board president. Liz Jones is the secretary and really the vice president. She's serving both roles right now. I am the treasurer. Andrea Gooding of Red Top Market is also on our board, and Denise Dixon of the Idaho Hunger Relief Task Force. So this is the board that we are going to put forth to you and ask for your vote as part of our annual meeting. Our current board advisors are Don Larzelier, you said your name so well, Larzelier from Idaho Preferred, Idaho State Department of Agriculture, and Katie Baker from Fair Idaho. And then we are joined by Melissa Napton of Kuski Farmers Market and Christina Tierney, working on behalf of University of Idaho and Idaho Farmers Market Association to help us with some of these special projects that we have. Our mission as an association is to support and promote the sustainability of farmers markets through education, outreach, and advocacy efforts that increase accessibility to local food systems for all Idahoans. So this has been our driving mission from the very beginning. We wanted to support farmers markets. We wanted them to thrive and be healthy. And we also wanted them to be accessible by all the people in the community so that they could have access to that same wonderful food, and they could support local farmers, local artisans, local crafters, and food producers in all of their communities. Our goals are to address market sustainability, educate the public about the benefits of local food, help markets reach new customer bases, provide support and assistance to markets, whether they're just starting up or they've been going a long time, and increasing access to nutritious food for low-income families. So like I said, we're 100% volunteer. And when Christina comes on and shares with you our annual report, I hope that you will see just how much we're all able to do by teaming up and supporting each other in the state so that we meet our mission and goals. So if you're not yet a member of the Idaho Farmers Market Association, why might you want to be? A lot of reasons here. Being part of the association means that we are a statewide voice for markets in Idaho. Right now, I would say probably at least 2/3, if not 3/4 of our markets in the state are IFMA members. And it really helps to link everyone together and really combine as a voice. One example that I can think of just really in the near recent past was when we went into shutdown for COVID. And at first, farmers markets were not deemed an essential enterprise. And because of our connection with the State Department of Ag, because of our voice as an association, we were able to advocate and get word all the way up to the governor's desk. And farmers markets were included as essential businesses. Doesn't mean that it was easy during that time, and we had a lot that we had to work through, but it at least was able to say markets need to be on the map, markets need to be happening. So when you're a member of the IFMA, you are listed in our searchable online member map. You are eligible to receive one-on-one mentoring and support from our board members and board advisors. We are able to offer you technical assistance on getting up and running with SNAP or troubleshooting it. So that's being able to accept food stamps or supplemental nutrition assistance program benefits at your market, and double up food bucks. When we have it and it's available, we are able to share funding for double up food bucks programs when we have that. And through funding through Department of Health and Welfare, we have been able to offer you free marketing and outreach materials that increase SNAP access at your market and help you advertise and market those programs without it being a cost to your market. We do provide these annual market manager trainings online. There was a time when we did some regional trainings, and maybe that's something we can do again if we have the funding. We have a lot of resources online, and we'll talk about how we're working on our website right now to make those more available to you and easier to navigate. We do have a private Idaho Farmers Market Manager Facebook group, so it's a great place to talk about what's going on, what's important to you, share ideas. We provide mentoring and support for market operations. We try to pair you up with someone who might be going through what you're going through and help you find those connections. You are already all going to be listed in the annual farmers market directory that's put out by the Idaho State Department of Ag and Idaho Preferred, but you will have a little symbol next to your market's name when you are an IFMA member. We can help you with finding grant funding or other support. And as Christina is going to share, anytime we are able to access grant funding, a significant, if not majority portion of that funding is passed through directly to our markets. So you gain access to those opportunities when you join. You get the opportunity to network with other market managers in the state and region. We promote all of our markets through some of our outreach, media, and advocacy. You get voting rights on major IFMA decisions. This year, it's going to be the board makeup and the bylaws. And then Katie will talk about this later. You have the opportunity to join FAIR and receive some benefits that are very specific to their organization. And then you could use the IFMA logo in some of your marketing and advertising. And we've got a really special announcement in a little while about that too. And I will let you know if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and And we will get to those. We've got a bunch of eyes on the chat right now. So you do want to join, great. I'm pretty sure that many of you, if not most of you on this call are members, but if you are not, here's just a quick breakdown. And if you maybe are not, your market is not a new member, but you are a new individual to your market, this is good information for you too. So membership is annual. We have been very lax, loose, accommodating. I don't know what the word would be for when that is due. We've had markets join everything from January 1st up until like July 30th. We're going to try to start tightening that up in the next year. So those of you that renewed up until early summer last year, we're kind of prorating some of your memberships, and if you have questions, you can reach out to us. But typically, renewal is going to be between January and March, so that we have everybody ready to go, and we've got everything settled before markets start opening in April. Some of our markets open that early. Your membership fee is based on your market size, everything from a micro market to a very large market. And so that sliding scale fee, which we hope works out for folks. We also have built-in categories for market supporters and sponsors who are not markets. And we need to work on really promoting that, because that would be a great source of revenue and to increase awareness and understanding about farmers market issues with people that are, the ones that are showing up every Saturday or Wednesday or Tuesday or Sunday or wherever and whenever your market is. Market members. So if you are a market member, you do have a vote and you may serve as a board member and an officer. And so we welcome you to join and get involved. We really could use more board members, some fresh faces for board officers, so that our current crew can take a break and focus on their markets. So we really welcome you to join us and to get involved in any way you can. Board membership is really not that onerous. Like I said, we meet once a month, September through June. And, sometimes there's more to be done and sometimes there's less. But if there's a lot of us doing it, it all feels lighter. So we would love to have representation from, we don't have anyone on the board currently from Eastern Idaho or very far north. And we would love to have that. We also love to have representation from markets of all different sizes. So not just big markets, but little markets, micro markets, etc. So be thinking about how you might want to get involved. So some frequently asked questions that we get about membership, especially because right now some of you are doing the renewals. So the one that we hear most of all is, I can't renew online. What's the issue? Well, until we close down the prior year of membership on that portal where the membership happens, you can't renew online. And I always like to wait to do that, because when I close out last season, everybody disappears from the website. And so I want to be really sure I've got an idea of everything before that happens. And that's just the way that we use MarketWorks. It's the software that manages our membership. So once you hear from us that everything is open for renewal, hopefully we have archived that previous year and it's good to go again. Like I said, some of you registered for membership really late last year. We're going to roll that over to this year, but I have to go back in and manually add you to the website. So when is renewal due? Like I said, we would like to in the future make it between December 31st and sometime in March. We're working on having enough of a window that you've got time, but also so that we're not trying to track down memberships when everybody is full scale into market season and things get lost. And then when will your market be listed on the IFMA website? Well, if you renew or join membership through our website, it can be a lot faster. If you send me the paper form, I have to go in and manually input your information into the website, which is not a problem. And we're happy to do that if that works for you. But it does mean that a little bit of time has to elapse. We get a notification that you have joined. We review your application, we approve it, and then at that point, you will pop up on the map on the IFMA website. So I hope that that answers some of the major questions we get. Does anyone else have any questions about membership? Now would be the time to ask it. Yeah, and I was looking through the chat. I think those of you, I think if you listen through today on all the different things that we have going on, there may very well be some value to you for being a member. And like I said, we're always looking for more participation so that you can make this association what you want it to be and make it serve you. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and Christina or I or one of our other board members will answer that. And so here's the join us section on their website. There's a lot of ways to do this, and that is also part of the complication of it, right? You can renew or register your membership online or by mail with a paper application, and you can pay either through PayPal or with a check. And so a lot of our spring is sorting through who has applied online versus who has applied on paper, checking the post office, and did you pay via PayPal or a check? And sometimes some of you pay via PayPal, but it's like someone who the name is not associated with the market management, and so we get kind of lost. So again, remember, 100% volunteer. We're doing the best we can here. And really the system is made to be as flexible as possible, but that also makes it kind of messy sometimes. So that's really what to do. So you go on the website, you hit apply today, and it'll give you the option to either renew or to apply for the first time. So that's what I had on kind of who is the IFMA, who we are this year, etc. And now we're going to launch into the annual meeting portion. And again, this is going to be talking about some of the opportunities we have, and then you're going to have 2 opportunities to vote. And I will go through the list and really quickly figure out, yeah, if you are a current member or were a member last year, then you have a vote. All right. So here's kind of what we're going to cover in the next little bit of time. Christina is going to give us a really fabulous Idaho Farmers Market Association annual report. Melissa and I are going to briefly update you as to where we are on the Idaho Specialty Crop Block Grant and what opportunities are here for the next year until September. We're going to have a vote on the 2024 slate of board and officers. We're going to have a vote on the 2024 bylaws revision. And then Katie is going to give us a preview of our new logo and branding that she had a major role in getting for us. So she'll talk about that too. Okay. Yep. Oh gosh, I'm just giving it all away. Okay, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Christina, are you ready to go?
I'm all ready, yeah.
Okay.
That's good. I actually trimmed a couple of slides off of mine as well because I gave away some things as well. So I'm gonna start kind of in the middle. Well, hello again. I'm Christina Tierney, and today I'm just gonna kind of paint a picture of what's been going on over the past year. I think that's kind of a great way to set up, you know, the annual meeting and all of our priorities for 2024 is by looking into the past and seeing what we've done. So if you have, if you're listed on our newsletter, or if you're subscribed to our newsletter, then you should have received out the annual report already. But if you haven't, I'm going to just kind of walk through some of our major accomplishments and talk about what's going on in the state. So give me one second while I just share my screen. I think that's the one. Okay. All right. So as I said, you probably, if you're getting our newsletters, you may have seen the annual reports. This is just kind of a quick view of it right here, the front and the back. It's you know, just a simple kind of infographic with kind of our high level numbers for the organization and for markets across the state. And I noticed that there was some kind of late completers of information of their data. And so our numbers are actually a little bit outdated on this. So I'm going to go ahead and update all the numbers on the report, and we'll get it uploaded to the website so you can find it there going forward. But that's what the report looks like. So we're going to kind of dig in and look at all the various details. So starting with a testimonial from one of our member markets. This is from Mary Knight, who I believe is on the call today. So thank you, Mary, for this. Last year, our SNAP customers and Double Up Food Bucks program grew, bringing new customers and more sales into our market over previous years. IFMA was wonderful in helping us to get new banners, signage, and tokens to help more people, or to get more people aware that they can use those benefits to get more bang for their buck at the Emmett Farmers Market. Yay! That's exactly what we're here for, is to support markets, to increase accessibility, you know, and so we're so glad that all of IFMA's efforts are really coming to fruition on the ground level. So I'll talk more about SNAP and Double Up Food Bucks later on in the call. So real quick, just kind of by the numbers so you understand exactly what IFMA's reach is and who we're supporting. Last year in 2023, we had 31 member markets, and those markets were across 20 Idaho counties. So we have a pretty expansive reach across the state, and we would obviously love to grow that to every single county that there is a farmer's market in the state. And that's something that I think we'll kind of work towards over the next few years. We distributed over 1,200 copies of Market Fresh in a Snap. These are cookbooks or cooking booklets, and they were, got one right here. It's absolutely beautiful, although it's blurring it out because I've got that filter on my, there you go. These are gorgeous. They were produced by the University of Idaho Extension, and it's no cook recipes for in-season Idaho produce. So those were distributed out to farmers markets and market customers. We delivered 5 trainings to member markets. One in particular that I remember that I thought was really well done was the risk management webinar. We do have a YouTube channel, is that right, Ariel? That where those webinars are held, and you can go back and you can look at those as well. We received a total of $61,000 in competitive grants, and $24,000 of that went out to support local independent contractors like myself and Melissa. But just to remind you, again, IFMA is really managed by an all-volunteer board of directors, and Melissa and I are very, very part-time, but we really do rely on our volunteers and our generous partner and funder organizations. All right, Ariel mentioned our scope of action, and what I really want to highlight out of this, so you can see that on the left-hand side, is that we're working really hard to increase access to nutritious foods for low-income households across the state. And so the SNAP program and the Double Up Food Bucks program that I'm going to talk about in much more detail later on, this is just kind of a look at the numbers from last year. We had 342 new SNAP customers come to markets last year, which is wonderful. So that's 342 people that have never been to a farmer's market before coming to spend their SNAP dollars at our local markets. And that translated to more than $75,000 being spent in SNAP and Double Up Food Bucks. And in addition, because the Idaho Farmers Market Association, when we have funding available, we're able to provide match funding for Double Up Food Bucks. We were able to provide almost $18,000 to those member markets that are SNAP friendly for Double Up Food Bucks match. That might have come in the form of providing tokens, kind of operational needs, or reimbursement for marketing to bring people to their market. And finally, a total of $18,000 was spent to promote farmers market, and that was via radio, print. I'm not sure, Ariel, if there was television, but it was general kind of overall marketing. And don't be afraid to throw some questions in the chat if you have any. I can't see it right now, but I'm sure there's lots of folks with eyes on it. Okay, so what does all this mean? That was just 2023, but from a food accessibility and kind of our impact over time, what does that look like? And this is what gets me really excited, is seeing the data over time. This is our SNAP redemptions and Double Up Food Bucks redemptions over time since we started tracking it in 2016. And we can see that last year was a record year. So that's really something for us to get excited about. That's a lot of SNAP dollars and Double Up Food Bucks dollars that are staying in our local economies and going to support local producers, and allowing low-income households to have access to fresh fruits and vegetables and good, healthy local foods. So I'm very excited about this. Again, I'll be sharing more about SNAP and Double Up Food Bucks in detail in just a minute. And I think that's it. I don't think the last slide I want to share because I'll be giving something away. So I'll stop share and kick it back over to you, Ariel. Oh, wait, I did have another slide. Can I go back?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry. One more. Okay. Just to talk about kind of what's up next. You know, it's fun for us to talk about what's done, but now how do we build off of that and move forward? So in 2024, we are going to unveil a new, more inclusive logo and a website refresh. That's going to be a major project for the organization. We're going to be distributing over $9,000 in advertising reimbursement, which Melissa will be talking about. We're going to work on increasing the number of SNAP markets, SNAP-friendly markets, and I've already seen a few new names come through early on in the season, so that's really exciting. We're going to work to expand the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program as another way of increasing accessibility around the state. And then, of course, is kind of our bread and butter. We're going to host multiple training webinars for our market managers and our member markets and volunteers. All right, now I'm done.
That's fabulous. Thank you so much, Christina. And that's really the benefit of having a little bit of funding. So Christina was funded a little bit on our grant from Idaho Department of Health and Welfare that was for the SNAP outreach. And so a lot of what she did up until probably, I don't remember which month, I think July or August, she was working off of those funds. And then since then, I've been finding some pennies here and there to keep her going, because I knew that we had those kinds of outcomes and impacts, and we just weren't able to, get that data together and share it out. And it's really exciting and encouraging to see those numbers, Christina. And hopefully you're seeing that when we do get grant funds, we're turning most of it back to our markets and some kind of benefit. So there was a question from Denise about how many markets and then the number of SNAP. So that is a moving target, right? Depending on how many folks respond to the annual directory. It's been 47 up to, it looks like 57 are going to be in the directory this year. And I would say, I think at last count, we had, I think at least 20 were SNAP markets. But again, it's moving targets and it's self-reported, a lot of data. And so we have to go back and we can report what we know, but it doesn't always mean that we have the most up-to-date information on that. There isn't really anyone that's doing that on a statewide basis, clearinghouse type of place. So we're working on that a lot. And for Cameron, yeah, this program would be huge. We've been talking about as a state how we might tap into the federal dollars, which come with a lot of strings attached. And currently there is no funding to expand that program to our state. The markets that have been doing it, Caldwell led the charge. Nampa followed on their footsteps. They are funding that through their own fundraising and through their own programming. And so right now we don't have a statewide source of funding for that senior program. And we're really, that's something that we want to focus on, because we have so many seniors and we know that there are so many benefits for seniors to participate in market. And then again, it's more money in the pockets of our growers. So we will keep you and Lemhi County Farmers Market in the loop when we find out more about that. So Melissa, would you like to share a little bit about the specialty crop block program and kind of what we're focused on, and I will fill in any blanks.
You bet. Okay. Again, I'm Melissa, a specialty crop block grant contractor, and Ariel and I have been working on micro grants lately for member markets. We just did our second round of grants that started just like a week ago, I want to say. So they're open to IFMA members. And it's a micro grant that they can use for advertising and promotion to get those specialty crops into the farmers markets, the Idaho farmers markets, that you can use, you know, from radio to print advertising. We've seen tote bags, stickers, and billboards such. They are $450, which isn't a whole lot, but anything's helpful, and you'd be surprised how far it goes. It has to be centered around the specialty crops. Specialty crops from USDA, ISDA is fruits, veggies, tree nuts, dried fruits, horticulture, nursery items, floriculture. So those kinds of vendors that we need more of. You know, every market needs a little bit more of those to get those fresh veggies out, or to people that need it, or like our senior program and stuff. The deadline to apply is May 31st. I think we're accepting 12 applicants. So far we have 6, so we're halfway there. So hurry and get your application in. And of course you have to be a paid member, and we can work with you on that. What else? We've been promoting the grant a little bit on social media pages and email marketing. And then I think we are still planning on a couple more webinars throughout the season as well to inform you of different things in the market. So Ariel, you want to fill in the blanks?
You didn't leave me very many blanks. That was great, Melissa. Thank you. Yes. So if you had submitted your application, just hang tight. I'm hoping that Melissa and I can get through reviewing all of those by the end of this week. So far, I'm not seeing any issues in what you've submitted. Just the idea has to support the promotion of specialty crops or your specialty crop vendors. And really good news, Melissa, the State Department of Ag just approved our last round of these, and they are issuing our reimbursement check. So I feel really good about going full steam ahead with the next round, because you all did everything right, getting us your receipts back, and we are going to get that reimbursed back to IFMA. That's something that I didn't mention when I talked about our grants, is we don't get $61,000 dumped into our bank account. We are on, with most of these grants, they are reimbursement, meaning we have to spend the money up front and then wait for it to come back. And so we're kind of doing this little dance all the time of, you know, how much do we apply for, because we've got to have that amount of money in the bank. So yeah, the only difference with that is the money that we fundraise for our Double Up Food Bucks match. That is, we get a check from the Idaho Food Bank. We get a check from St. Luke's Foundation, and that goes directly into putting that out to all of you. So thank you, Melissa. As regard to the specialty crop bot grant, yes, we're going to have this round and then one more round of these advertising mini grants to hand out before this grant is over. We also will be doing at least 2 more webinars on risk management associated with the specialty crop vendors and your markets in general. And I'm hoping that today we have 2 great topics planned. We just have yet to schedule them. And then I'm hoping that our discussion a little bit later today gives us some more ideas about what you all would like to see in a professional development or risk management webinar to help you out. So yeah, I think that is, okay, so when do they have the funds spent? I'm trying to remember for this round, I think we said that we wanted it turned back in your receipts by
May 31st.
May 31st to get that, you know, that you can turn it in at any time. You know, as soon as you spend it, you can turn that in and that way we can kind of work on our cash flow. That works better for us. And then we will have one last round that we'll need to have everything turned back in by August, because this grant ends in September and we can't incur any other costs after that. So yeah, so get those applications in. You have to be a member, and we would love to help you out with that. Well, thank you, Melissa. Okay, we're gonna move right into now. Mel, would you like me to pull up that slide with our board and officers? And would you like to lead the parliamentary procedure?
As lousy as I am with parliamentary procedure. Um, all right, so we need to either keep the board members that we do have or elect new ones. I guess all in favor of keeping said me in the presidential spot. Do we want to do this through chat? Do we want to do this through video? How are we going to do this, guys?
Well, so Mel, I have been told in other organizations that we could present the slate as a whole and either approve or not the whole slate. And we will need one of our members to put forth a motion to approve the current slate of board members, officers, and advisors. And then second it, and then we can all vote. And we can do it in the chat, or you can all unmute and say yes, and then wait for any opposed. Got it?
I will try.
Okay.
I'm better at milking cows than I am doing this. How's that?
And everything I've learned from this, I learned from 4-H. So I'm not very good at that either. So.
All right. So I guess we are putting the whole slate of board members as approved. Do I have a nomination to move it
I make a
forward?
motion. I make a motion. I'm in Rexburg Farmers Market, so I know I'm a member and I paid my dues. Make a motion to keep the board members and I don't know all the details, the slate as is for the next year.
Thank you, Jamie. Do I have a second?
I second the motion. Mary Knight from Emma, Idaho, and I am a paid member.
Thank you, Mary. So all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? As of right now, the board members will stand for the 2024 season.
Thank you for your service.
But like I said, all of us are willing to be replaced if the right person comes along.
I've been there.
All right, thank you. That was wonderful. All right, so next up, I am going to put this in the chat really quick. So the next thing is to approve the bylaws revision. Now this could get a little bit messier, but I will just say, you know, we're going to look at it a little bit, and I'll talk you through some of why we did what we did. And there's really nothing, I don't think, too funky about it. Let's see. Let me just get that really quick in there. Okay. So I put that in. Oops. No, it's not letting me do that. So give me just a second to close this screen, and maybe I'll just bring it up. I did email it to all of our member markets. Okay, here we go. So we had not revised our bylaws since 2012. So obviously there were some changes that need to be made. I will just go through this very, very quickly. If you would like to abstain your vote and read through them in great detail later on, you're more than welcome to do that. I mean, again, this is a document that guides our association, so you have full access to it. So anything in yellow is what was changed. So number one, the revision date had to be changed because it's been 12 years. Coming down, we did the principal office for the association was still listed in Hayden, Idaho, with the late Barbara Arnold. So Barbara was one of the founding members of IFMA. She was one of the first board members. She was an incredible woman, an herb farmer. We did a video about her, University of Idaho, on her herb farm called Nothing But Herbs. She was really a fantastic woman. You all would have loved her if you never met her. But she has passed away and been passed away for some time now. And so it did not make sense for her to still be the registered agent of the association. So since it doesn't seem like I'm going anywhere in any near future, at least for a while, we just decided to put the address and registered office as the extension office in Ada County, because again, we're fairly certain that we'll be here for a little bit of time. We can update this at any time though. So it just means that I'm the contact with the Secretary of State, and that's our address. So another key change that we made though, and this is where I just want to draw your attention to this. So we did have in the definition of a farmer's market, 2 or more vendors coming together. Well, some of our member markets are actually a farm stand where they are the primary vendor and producer, but it's still a farm market. And so we really went around, we had a strategic planning meeting with the board. And we decided to expand our definition of a farmer's market to be more inclusive so that we could include our farm stands and some of our micro markets that really are one vendor into this. So now our definition is, for purposes of these bylaws and membership, a farmer's market is defined as any recurring in-person and/or online assembly facilitating the marketing of farm and food products directly from producers to consumers. So it still has to be the originator of the food or the food product selling it directly to an end customer, but that can be in person, that can be online, and it can be any number of vendors at that place and time. So we were all happy with that. It's really hard to come up with something that meets everyone, but we really wanted to have that definition be a little bit more broad. So we didn't change anything else related to membership or anything, but we did say that of the board of directors, we decided to put in that at least 50% of the elected board of directors shall come from Idaho farmers markets. So they should be vendors, board members, volunteers, or market managers from an Idaho farmers market. And that just ensures that the goals and the priorities of the association really represent those of our markets. So coming down, hopefully this doesn't make anyone dizzy. We didn't change anything here. This was all still really good language about quorums and meetings and things like this. So none of us on this board are lawyers. I will say that. So in the bylaws, it did say that our directorships shall only be limited to 2 consecutive terms. We've got some people on this board that are worried that these are life sentences. We would like to rotate people off and keep adding new ones, but if there is not the possibility for replacing a board member at that time, we did put into the bylaws that a motion of waiver during the nomination proceedings could be enacted in order to lengthen somebody's term. But it's not a given. It has to be voted on by the whole board. And ideally, the terms are 2 years. You can take a year off and then you can come back on. So if any of you want to see shorter term limits, raise your hand and jump on the board. We would be happy to have you. And to our fellow board members that have been in this for a long time, we couldn't do it without you. So let me just keep going down. Again, like all of this stuff was just standard language. We didn't make any changes about it. Coming down. This just talks about what the roles are for the different duties. The only thing that we added here is that we added that the treasurer may also sign contracts or other instruments as authorized by the board of the directors. And that comes into play because the treasurer is often managing a lot of our grants. And so it makes sense for them to be able to sign some of those documents, especially if the treasurer, like myself, is not a market manager and therefore much more available during the summer to do things like this. So that was another change, is just giving the treasurer and the president both the ability to sign contracts. It wasn't expressly designated prior. And yeah, just some other things, and I think this is good to look at too, so that we're not just totally a seat of our pants organization. We do have some governance, we do have some guiding premises and principles. So those were the major changes. And then the other change would be signing it in 2024 versus signing it in 2012. So any questions or discussion before we move into the voting?
Ariel,
Yes.
you said something about sponsors, maybe having like sponsorships or businesses, could buy an ad and help us out that way. Would that be something that we would have to put in the bylaws or?
So it is already in the bylaws that we have different categories of membership. And what it does say is that you could be, let's say Albertsons could be a corporate sponsor of the Idaho Farmers Market Association. They could pay for a membership. However, they will never have a vote. Only market members, so members that operate a farmers market, would be eligible to have a voting role. So friends of the market, corporate sponsors, those sorts of memberships do not have a voting role. And the only caveat to that would be, let's say, like myself, I am not a market manager. I am University of Idaho. But I can be elected to the board. And then once I am on the board, I have voting for board decisions and related to, board votes. But I, as a member representing University of Idaho, would not vote on, say, the bylaws or things like that. I hope that is clear as mud.
Yes. Thanks.
Any other questions or comments from anybody else? Anybody who is reading this for the first time and just loves this kind of thing?
I genuinely really appreciated a lot of the wording that you did change to be more inclusive. And I feel like the specificity to allow for other markets to be included in the umbrella of this association was really awesome. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents of good job.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, well, it looks like Mary has just right up and raised her hand. Mary makes a motion to accept the revised edition of the IFMA bylaws as written and presented. Wonderful. Can we have a second? All right, Capital City Public Market seconds. Thank you, Janelle. All right, all in favor of accepting the revised bylaws, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? All right, hearing none, we accept the bylaws as revised in 2024. And thank you, everyone, so much.
Great.
All right, we have two more items on our annual meeting. And the next one is that Liz is going to talk about opportunities to join our board.
Sure. Well, I know that through this last hour, we've said a couple things about really needing some new board members, and none of us are tired of it. But we know that fresh voices are really super important. So we'd love to invite you into the group. I can tell you it is a nice group of folks, and we often skip meetings in the summertime when our markets are all going. So for those of you who are managers and absolutely nuts in the summer, we generally finish our meetings in May and get started again in October. Sometimes we'll go a little bit earlier or later. Or if we have some special topic to vote on, maybe we'll just have kind of an impromptu meeting. But it really is not that huge of a time commitment. And it's not a boring meeting. I think there are these great opportunities for me anyway, where I'm kind of mixing it up with other folks who are in the same position as me, managing a market, and some of our partner organizations are really helpful also. So you get that extra little perk in there. So there's a nice advantage there. I think all of us who are on the board just take this chance to try to be a mentor for other markets as well. And we all talk amongst ourselves and try to talk about ways to improve things and find out that different folks on the board have different talents. So we'd love to see more talent come in. I'm sure you have some great skills. I already know you're all leaders because you're running farmers markets in many cases. So come on board with us. And it just would be really great to have you. So really think about it. It's not a gigantic commitment. It really isn't. And again, from my perspective, having started a market from scratch with no experience 8 years ago, this organization and the board have just been a savior for me. So we'd love to see you. So I'll just look in the chat and all of you can sign up now. Thank you. That's it. I think we have some mute going on. There we go.
Thank you, Liz. You do a good job of promoting it. And Liz has been on the board for a long time, and we really, really appreciate that and value it. And like I said, Denise is coming back on the board after originally representing the Homedale Farmers Market, and then now in her new role as the Executive Director of the Hunger Relief Task Force. So very exciting. So, and if you even, let's say, you really feel strongly that your region should have representation, but you can't add one more thing to your plate, who else in your region, do you have an extension professional or maybe like a market customer that is just one of those ones that's always there, that does everything, that always wants to be part of things? They could be on the board as well. So board membership is not exclusive to market membership. It's just that 50% of our board needs to be market representatives. So we're excited to have you. All right, so the last thing for the annual meeting portion before we'll take a little break and then come back to the training is Katie is going to share some exciting news about the refresh of our image and how she played a big role in this.
Thanks so much. Can you hear me and I'm not echoing now, hopefully?
Yes, that's much better.
Okay. Actually, just I was on 2 laptops. I had everything ready to go, and then I turned the volume down on this one so I wouldn't do what I just did. All right. So the one problem is that I'm actually sharing this on my other laptop, so I'm going to have to scroll down. Ariel, do you have this sheet up that you could just share? Okay, cool. Thanks.
Do you want me to do it instead?
That might be great.
Okay.
I'll be more prepared on presentation later. I was trying to go back and forth between 2 laptops because on the one that didn't have the screen working, I had everything open. So
no, it's good. I just need to open it really quick. So give me 1 second.
So thank you for that. So I'll do a quick background. I know we're running a little bit behind. So Fair Idaho applied for the Farmers Market Promotion Program. That was a grant through the USDA. It was $250,000. We really tasked ourselves with thinking outside of the box of what could Fair Idaho do for producers, small producers, and small farmers markets across Idaho. And so what we came up with is we could provide marketing resources for these 20 small producers, farmers markets. And so what these resources really are a basic website. It could be a redesign of a current website. This includes 5 pages, and then logos. We either create a logo or revamp the logo, as we did in this case. I did not do the design work. I want to clarify. There's a very talented person that is on the Fair Idaho staff that has been diligently working with these producers and farmers markets. And so because this was a new grant to us, we experimented with the Idaho Farmers Market because I'm an advisor to the board. And so we're really grateful for the opportunity to give this a little bit of a refresh. Jesse, who is on our team, sent over a branding kit updated the logo, which, here, I don't know if you want to scroll down and do the unveiling for me. Thank you. So this is what we went back and forth, and then we added more things to the basket and took things away. We wanted to just update the logo and just make it look really pretty and inviting. The old logo wasn't really great for the website, and then we just needed to do some general updating. Sorry if I seem distracted. It sounds like one of my chickens is having a hard time. So in the backyard. But anyway, so we're really excited to partner on this project. We've had the farmers market, and then we're going to keep going. So we're going to help 20 small producers. If you think about like, how can we help these small farmers? Graphic design is a big problem. Just because it's costly, and where do you even start? And you know, they just want to farm, or they just want to run their farmers markets. So this is a way that we were able to help our food and beverage community, and we're going to keep going. So thanks for being the test for this. And then next will be a website update that we'll work on too.
Well, thank you. And some of you in the chat are putting in your comments. It was really, really hard to limit to 3 things in the basket that sum up everything that happens in Idaho farmers markets. And so just use your imagination and imagine that everything else is inside the basket. It's just not peeking out. But we really love the basket design. You know, I think it speaks to farmers markets, and we at least have specialty food, ag products. And then we figured that the flowers could represent the artisans as well as our flower and nursery producers. Nothing saying that those flowers aren't made of wood or felt or wool or any of the other things that our amazing vendors do. Oh, it's okay, Mary. We will do our best to fund some updates. If you have our old logo on any of your materials, maybe we'll just send you a sticker and you can put that over the top. But thank you very much, Katie, for letting us be the guinea pig for this project. And yeah, and you're going to talk later about how your market might reach out to her and be part of this too, right?
Yep, absolutely. We're covering that.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a really quick break. We are a little bit behind schedule, but that's okay because our afternoon is shorter than we anticipated. So let's go ahead and take a, let's just take a 10-minute break. That way everyone can get a chance to kind of refresh. And then when we come back, Christina is going to give us a crash course on SNAP Double Up Food Bucks. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for the member meeting that concludes our first annual member meeting of the Idaho Farmers Market Association. So see you in 10 minutes.
Part of the meeting. Perfect. Okay. Well done on the branding guidelines. I went a little bit rogue on the guidelines, so my presentation has the logo, but I will have to tune into all the other bits and pieces of the guidelines. All right, real quick, let me get that up. Okay, are you seeing my screen now? Great. Okay. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to be talking a bit about SNAP and Double Up Food Bucks, and really just working on increasing access at your farmers markets. And I guess before I kind of jump in, I know there's a couple of new names and faces on this call. I would love if you could just put in the chat if anybody is a market manager or a volunteer at a market and you are not currently accepting SNAP, just go ahead and maybe write your farmers market name down, or if you're interested in learning more about SNAP, you know, just like to get a good sense of who's in the audience so we can kind of tailor the presentation a little bit. So go ahead and just give me a sense of if you're SNAP friendly currently, or if you're looking to get approved for SNAP this market season or in the future. I'll give you a quick moment to do that if you can. All right, awesome. So Lincoln County Market is hoping to get approved. Wonderful. Make a note of that. Okay, Snake River Country Market would love to. Awesome. Just got approved. Fantastic, Potlatch. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. Okay, amazing. So, Weezer's also looking to get approved. Great. Okay, so looks like, I know some of the markets on the call are currently accepting SNAP, but we have a couple of new markets to all of it. So we're gonna kind of I guess share the spotlight, a little bit of education on both. So let's see, just to kick us off, we're gonna just go through a little bit of vocabulary, so we're all working from the same information. The first thing we want to talk about is what is SNAP. So the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. You may also know it as food stamps. You might know it as EBT. So commonly these days referred to as the SNAP program. It offers nutritional assistance to millions of people. They are eligible low-income individuals and families, and it provides economic benefits to our communities. So typically grocery stores or local markets accept SNAP benefits, but also farmers markets can as well. So it's just a bit of a different process to go through to accept SNAP at your farmers market. All right. Double Up Food Bucks. You're going to see this acronym every once in a while, DUFB. Double Up Food Bucks matches those SNAP dollars up to $20 per market visit. And you give, the market gives tokens to the SNAP beneficiary so that they can go throughout the market and spend those tokens, Double Up Food Bucks tokens, on fresh fruits and vegetables only. So what's amazing about this is it essentially can double the amount of dollars that are being spent in your local markets and double the amount of dollars going into the pockets of our local farmers and agricultural producers. And the added benefit of providing local healthy food to SNAP recipients. Okay, so now that we've got that as kind of a foundation for us, why do you want to participate in this? Well, first of all, because becoming a SNAP-friendly market can increase your customer base. You'll have new customers coming on, they're household members, and that basically drives up the revenue for your vendors and local agricultural producers. Additionally, money spent at local markets leads to more jobs, wages, and local economic activity in the community. So this is a stat by No Kid Hungry that every dollar of SNAP that goes into our local communities is really $1.54 in economic activity. So real benefit to keeping those dollars local as possible. And of course, healthy food for all decreases the risk of chronic diseases within our community. So we're supporting health at the local community level. And just a quick snapshot. So in 2023, and I mentioned this in the year-end report, $75,000 was redeemed in SNAP and Double Up Food Bucks in our Idaho farmers markets, which means that the total economic impact was about $116,000. So it's really exciting for us to think about growing this program in the state. Okay, so you're sold, you want to participate. Now, how do we go about it? The first thing that we need to do is have your market apply for an FNS number. That's Food and Nutrition Services, and that's a department of the USDA. So you need to go on to the USDA's website and complete an application for to become a SNAP-friendly or SNAP-authorized retailer. It's a pretty easy process, but there are a couple of caveats to know about, is that it's not tied specifically to the entity. So you actually have to apply on behalf of your entity as an individual, which means that it's really important for somebody that's going to be around at your market to apply. If they're going to be around for a long time, they should be the ones that are applying for on behalf of the market through FNS, because it's their information that's going to be tied to this number. And then anytime there is a market change, if your market manager leaves and they're the person that was listed on the FNS account, or if you're the president of the board was the person and they left, then you've got to reapply and get a new FNS number. So it's a bit of a process, but it does go pretty quickly. It just takes a couple of weeks to get that number approved. And once you do that, you're ready to go. So we'll walk through the next steps. And thank you, Ariel, for putting that in the chat. A lot of great links, and a lot of these links are listed on our website, so that if you've got questions, follow-up questions, you can just go straight to the website and you'll see those links listed there as well. Okay, so what happens next is actually I'm gonna, oops, here we go. When you're approved with your FNS number, you're going to need to also then get in touch with all of your vendors that are either SNAP or selling SNAP appropriate or Double Up Food Bucks appropriate foods. And you're going to just give them a quick training. You do that all together and let them know that this is something that the market is going to be doing all together, and that it's a great opportunity for them. I know at IFMA, we would be happy to help you in that process. If this is something that you're looking to do kind of a webinar with all of your vendors in order to get them trained up and knowledgeable about the process, then we can be of support in that process as well. We have a vendor agreement that they can sign. So we have a template, and just want to get them on the same page around the process of accepting tokens, redeeming tokens, and then getting reimbursed. So just a quick agreement. Those tokens, we have an agreement with Wooden Tokens. Sorry, my dog's choking back here. We have an agreement with Wooden Tokens, and we can upload art really quickly and easily through our account to get you tokens purchased. Some years we do have funding in order to provide those tokens to you at no cost. And this year, because our funding is a little bit more limited, we're going to be prioritizing new markets to SNAP. So all of those markets that are just kind of listed in the chat that they're interested in pursuing this, we'd love to talk with you about how to support you in getting more or new tokens to get you going in this. Those tokens can be in kind of $1, $5 increments. It's really based on your preference, and we can work with you on that design and art. And then finally, you're going to want to get the word out. Make sure folks know in your community that you accept SNAP dollars and that you have a match through Double Up Food Bucks, if you're approved for a match through the Idaho Farmers Market Association. So as members of IFMA, we also have funds available for promotional materials. So on our website, there is a request form, and you can order those like sandwich board, the big plastic sandwich boards, to show that you're SNAP friendly. We've got banners. We can make them in all different sizes. We've got flyers. We have all sorts of promotional materials that we can send out to you in order to drum up interest in a new customer base. So don't hesitate to reach out to us if you're going through that process and you need support. And then I would also mention, we've talked about the Idaho Farmers Market Directory. That is also a really wonderful place to get listed. That's something that's going on right now. Dawn has a link in order to fill out all the information about your farmers market and indicate if you are SNAP authorized, if you provide a Double Up Food Bucks match. And so go ahead and make sure that you get your farmers market name in there, all the correct information, and that way when it's distributed across the state, it's going to go out to Department of Health and Welfare, district health departments, food banks. It's going to be sent far and wide, and you'll know that your name is in there, and people can see that you're an available resource. All right. You also need to set up a place for people to go. So one of the things that you should start to think about is making sure that either at your kind of hub station, your main information booth, or a separate location, there's a place, and it's really clearly designated, that people can go to swipe their EBT cards and get their tokens. So that's something that you're going to want to think about when you're looking at kind of the layout of your farmers market and the flow and everything else. So just make sure that the signage is really good and clear each and every season, so people know exactly where to go and what the process is. When that happens, when they do get to that booth, this is where they will basically they'll do the transaction. So when you're approved with your FNS number, the next step is to contact IFMA with that new number, and we'll put you in touch with our friends at the Department of Health and Welfare. They have a contract with FIS, not to be confused with FNS. It's the payment processor instead. And they have these machines. They have both wired and wireless machines that you can receive free of charge in order to process the payments. So contact IFMA immediately afterwards, and we'll get you set up with that. And then, the obvious point of it, if it is a wireless, just make sure that it's fully charged before every single market so that you don't have any issues there. Okay, this is a helpful flyer to keep at that information booth, just because it shows exactly what's eligible and not eligible, and it shows the difference between SNAP eligible items and Double Up Food Bucks eligible items. So we do typically have these on hand and can send them out to you in addition to any other marketing materials that you're looking for. And so I would recommend keeping this at your information booth. And also just trying to educate your vendors on exactly what's eligible for each of those. Okay, so when it comes to funding for Double Up Food Bucks, I'll step back actually. So with SNAP, the SNAP beneficiary is going to come to the information booth, and they're going to tell you how much they want to deduct from their EBT card. Let's say it's $20. You're going to run their card through the machine, and you're going to deduct $20 from. There's a bit of reporting, and we're going to go through this in just a second, that you have to capture in order to make sure you've got all the right records. But then the Double Up Food Bucks funding comes from a separate place. So that IFMA does have limited funding in order to provide markets with Double Up Food Bucks match. So if somebody runs their card for $20, then you can offer them a $20 per market visit Double Up Food Bucks match, and you're going to give them two different types of tokens. You're going to give them $20 in SNAP tokens, and you're going to give them $20 in Double Up Food Bucks tokens. So this is only eligible to IFMA member markets funding through IFMA, so you have to be a member. And then we typically look at how much you redeemed in the last year through our reporting for Double Up Food Bucks, and we'll essentially give you half of that at the beginning of the year, and then catch you up if you continue to trend the same as the previous year. We'll catch you up throughout the year. It's really a good idea for markets to have a backup funding option. Some of our markets, I think I can think of two, work with their city, their municipality, in order to get funding for Double Up Food Bucks. We do grants from various organizations or government entities, but you can also look for grants. So there's lots of different ways to get funding for Double Up Food Bucks. It is a really good idea to have some sort of backup depending on how much you think you're going to be spending. If it's quite a lot, then we can only provide a certain amount each year. Okay, so that reporting, the reporting is really important for a number of reasons. Reporting is critical because it shows us how much we need to fundraise for every single year. And it shows us at IFMA just a ton of data, a ton of information that we can use to go out and get those grants and show how we're impacting food accessibility in the state of Idaho. So thank you to all of those markets that have been doing such a great job year over year and providing us with data and information about their SNAP and Double Up food bucks. And then just so you can see what that actually looks like, I'm going to go ahead and show you here. Okay, so there's kind of two parts of reporting. This first part is with regards to the vendor reimbursement, which is also really critical, right? You need to have really good data collection and reporting processes in order to make sure you're reimbursing your vendors accurately. So most markets do this one of two ways. You can either do it at the end of the market day for the vendor to come to the market booth and they get reimbursed with cash. And, you know, depending on how often your market is going on, that's probably once a week. Or you can reimburse the vendor every 2 weeks or every month, as long as it's in the same cycle each month. And then they can turn in their tokens weekly, and then you reimburse them on a regular basis. That could be monthly. So whatever you choose, whatever cadence you choose to reimburse them on, you just need to make sure that you've got receipts on hand so that you can reconcile and make sure that the reporting is accurate. I think I have. Yep, I've got an example of a vendor receipt, which we can also send to you. But basically, you know, you're going to have your vendor complete this at the end of the day. They're going to turn in a receipt along with all of the tokens, and everything should tie out. And you will keep that in order to provide reimbursement to them. So the way that it works with the EBT machine is that your bank account, the market bank account, will be associated with the EBT machine. You'll receive the funds that are deducted from the participant SNAP EBT card. And then it's your responsibility to make sure that then those funds get reimbursed to the vendors and that they reconcile. So just make sure that you're keeping very clear reporting for all of that. Here's kind of an example of a vendor weekly reporting sheet, all of which templates we have, so we can provide that to you if you need anything, if you're getting going. Okay, and then the other side of the reporting is the customer record. Okay, so when somebody comes to the information booth and says that they want to swipe their EBT card for $20, there is information that you're going to be collecting. So you're going to collect the last 5 digits of their EBT card number, the total amount that they requested, and if they are a new person to that market. And so you can just really keep this all on one paper. Just make sure you're separating by date, but pretty basic. And then when you run the transaction, the recipient will enter his or her PIN into the machine, and they'll save a receipt, and you will also get a ledger at the end of the day with all of the transactions. This is pretty blurry, so sorry about that. But this is an example of the customer record sheet, the daily record sheet. So it says, here's the last 5 of the EBT card, the dollar amount, whether or not you gave them any tokens, and the value of those tokens. And then, is this your first time using your EBT card at this market? Yes or no? And that way we can capture how many SNAP recipients are coming for the first time to your market. Okay. So market sales at the end of each week, you're just gonna log into a database. We partner with the Fair Food Network to consolidate all of this reporting across all of our markets that do SNAP and Double Up food bucks. And that is what allows us to be able to collect all of the year-end data across the entire state. So you can do this really at your own, I guess, cadence. You can do it at the end of this each week. I wouldn't let it get too far out from you. You know, maybe monthly is a good idea so that you're on top of it. Logging in a full year, full season worth of information all at once is is a beast. So I'd recommend doing it more often than that. You log into the Fair Food Network website, and that's also listed on our website. And you complete your SNAP and double up food bucks totals for the week, the month. And then this will also help if you do it on a more regular basis, will help just ensure that we can get you more double up food bucks when it actually arises and not too far past the point where you're like, I'm in the hole, I need more money and I don't know what to do. So it'll help us keep a better eye on how much you're spending in double up food bucks. And then sometimes we get markets that come across issues with the site, the Fair Food Network site. So if you have any problems, just reach out to us directly and we can get you your username and password really easily and get you back into the site. Melanie, do you mind just expanding on that question? Is it doable to do it over the phone? It was a lifesaver for me when I figured out to report via phone. Do you mean the Fair Food Network?
I was just, I had a lot of people complaining that they couldn't do it over their phone, and it is doable. I do it on my phone all the time. So that's the only way I get my reporting done, is as long as at the end of the market day, it just gets done and forgotten about until next Tuesday. So
yeah. Yeah. So are you?
I just wanted to let people know that it is doable. It's, you know, like I said, it was a time saver for me as a market manager, to make sure that that was just wrapped up in a pretty little bow at 7 o'clock in the evening.
Yep. And then you don't have to think of it again.
Yep.
Yeah. Great. Thank you for that. I know that we've got a lot of folks on the phone that are on the meeting that have been doing this. So you know, any other words of wisdom for some of these folks that are embarking on this journey would be helpful as well. Okay. Mary, so can farmers markets use the cash side of the SNAP card at the market to purchase non-food items? It was talked about during the Washington boot camp. I've only known SNAP to support food eligible items. I don't know of anything else beyond that.
So Christina, some people do get a certain amount of flex dollars that don't have to be spent on food that are on their Quest card. So I think what Mary's asking is if people could withdraw that cash also. And I certainly don't have the answer to that yet. I think it sounds like maybe that is something new, the idea of pulling that out. I know that folks will get that cash out at a grocery store, but I don't know about at market yet.
Okay. Yeah, another thing I wanted to call out was just a phenomenon that some of our markets are seeing where their tokens disappear. You know, they're handing out their tokens and then either people aren't redeeming them immediately or something's happened. So, you know, they're quite costly. I would just recommend that you do try and keep somewhat of an accounting of your tokens, and just kind of flag if you're seeing that there's a trend going on where markets are, tokens are walking away from the market and not coming back. And, you know, we can try and identify what's going on there. All right. Well, as Ariel put in the chat, there's a ton of resources on most of what I talked about on our website, all the links to the various organizations and entities. And then, you know, just reach out to us at info@idahofma.org if you're struggling through the process, or just keep us posted and how it's going so that we can keep you on our radar to support.
That was wonderful, Christina. Thank you. I don't know how many times I hear all of this information. I need to hear it every year because I forget things, and I'm sure that markets do too. So really appreciate it. And things change from year to year too. We always, every year we get a question that we've never heard before that Christina or Denise or, one of us who's working on this will go all the way to the top if they have to, and they'll ask the feds to get an answer for you. So yeah, so no question is too weird. We'll try to work it out. So moving right along, thank you, Christina. If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, but we're going to move into Denise's presentation on helping your customers access SNAP.
Great. The Idaho Hunger Relief Task Force has a SNAP engagement team. And what that is it's 10 plus partner organizations that have come together and did sign-on letters for support. And they have been trained through modules we created to help people through this process. So in other words, they know the ins and outs of all of the questions they may have. And so, you can take it to that level. If a farmer's market wants to be able to have more information, we can share those training modules with you. But the part that I'm most interested in is we also have resources, and those are one-page resources on how to help someone. I apologize, they're putting new counters in our kitchen and the noise is bad, so sorry. So what we do have though are one-page resources about how to determine if you're eligible, how to get signed up for it, and what information you need to take to the offices. So if this is something that we can provide markets that either already have SNAP or want to have helpful information at their market table, we're happy to share that out. And I will put my email address in the chat on how to reach me, and I can send information to you that you can have available for your market customers that need to know how to get this done. So I think also Ariel put a flyer in the chat. There's 146,000 people in Idaho that are under the 185% poverty level. 64% of seniors that should be on SNAP are not. So, if we can make a little bit of a difference in that, this is our opportunity to do that. So that's really all I wanted to share with you.
All right. And if you are interested in having us print some of these for you, that is something that we could tuck into your annual packets that you receive from us that have the SNAP marketing materials in them. Great. Any other questions for Denise? All right. Thank you, Denise. And thank you for being back on our board and bringing your focus on solving food insecurity in Idaho. So next, we're just going to have a really brief group discussion, and I'm going to pull up a couple slides and share those for a minute, and then I'm going to pause the recording so that we can ask some of these questions, and I will make sure that a summary of the questions gets included in the notes that go out to anybody who is not on the call. But I want us to be able to feel comfortable having a discussion. So give me just 1 second. Get this going again. Wonderful. One more sec, hold on. All right. Oops. All right, this is where I wanted to start. There's that pretty logo again. Okay, can you, let's see, nope, hold on. It's being weird again. Give me 1 more second. I was just going to say, we've been having pretty good luck with the technology, and I should know better than to say something like that. Okay, excellent. Here we go. So this next section, we had gone around with thinking about bringing on someone from the Idaho State Tax Commission again, and bringing someone on from the Idaho, from one of the health districts. But we had so many different questions, and we thought asking them to come and talk about just one thing might not be as good as if we actually talked about this as a group ourselves, and then formulated some express questions that we had for some of these organizations and agencies. So we're just calling this playing by the rules. So a few things that we have been hearing from our market members is that we have been hearing that markets are getting more pressure from their local health district to have all their vendors have a temporary food establishment permit or put in a questionnaire about that. And it's really about the sampling. So this is one thing that we've heard, is that the health district is putting more pressure on the market to tell them who their vendors are that may be sampling food, and trying to get that information from everyone. So you'll have to let me know if that's something that you're also hearing. And another thing that we've been hearing is that with more and more of the tax filing going online, it has been more difficult for vendors or markets to comply with some of the tax guidelines. So those are just two things that we've heard. I am going to pause the recording for just a minute, and let's talk about some of these things.
Can you see my screen? Okay. All right, well, excuse me, my name is Dawn Larsler, as I already mentioned, with the Idaho Preferred Program at the Idaho State Department of Agriculture. Good to see all these names in the group here. So just want to get started here. So what is Idaho Preferred? Idaho Preferred is a state-branded program that's focused on the promotion of Idaho food, beverage, and agricultural products. All products through the Idaho Preferred program must have Idaho roots, quote unquote. In other words, some percentage of inputs that are sourced or produced in Idaho. And it must also be an Idaho company. Idaho Preferred has had a strong brand identity for 20 years. Actually, this is our 21st year in operation, and we have over 340 members and growing strong. What is a branded program, though, you might ask? So a branded program is a program that allows the use of a logo. And our logo, the Idaho Preferred logo you see up there in the top left corner, is the logo that helps consumers and business owners quickly identify whether they are purchasing an agriculturally connected product that has been cultivated in Idaho. And most importantly, that product has been locally grown, raised, or crafted with a minimum of Idaho, of our base minimum of Idaho's agricultural content. And every state, just about every state in the country, does have a branded program, and it is a program administered through the State Department of Agriculture. Our mission as a program is to help promote, connect, and educate Idaho agricultural producers to help them grow their marketplaces. And that includes farmers markets and other supporting organizations as well. The benefits of our program membership includes education. We're much more than just a marketing program. We provide educational resources and business development. We have developed the Farm and Food Finder on our website, which helps connect consumers to local agricultural producers, food, restaurants, anyone who is committed to sourcing from Idaho producers, as well as retail operations, et cetera, et cetera. We provide marketing assistance through our seasonal promotions, directories, guides, and brochures. Of course, I've already mentioned the use of our logo. We also administer special events, and we facilitate a community calendar for members to add their events, and we help get the word out. We also provide industry connections and networking. We have a member resource portal, which includes our learning lab and other assets available for business, for managing your business or your farmer's market. And then we also provide visual storytelling assets, professional photography and videography. I'll get into that in just a minute. I know Ariel has just mentioned establishing a farmer's market in Idaho. We do provide this as a resource as well out of our office. It was a collaborative effort, I believe, through both the Idaho State Department of Agriculture, U of I, and the Idaho Preferred Program, as well as IFMA. In addition to that, we have a number of other educational materials that in our member learning lab, such as our learning library, which covers these business basics courses. These are all free online courses that were developed specifically for Idaho producers, all developed with the context of how to do these things from an agricultural perspective. So copywriting for your business, how to use Canva, writing captions that convert for social media. Farmers markets are made for social media. If you're going to market your farmers market, social media is the way to go. Anyway, these business courses are available to our members. We also produce, in collaboration with IFMA, we produce the annual Farmers Market Directory. This is a brochure. It's like a trifold brochure that gets distributed. We do about 20, last year we did, I believe, 2,500 copies of the brochure that were distributed throughout the state. And it goes to various social organizations, supporting organizations, also visitor centers, kiosks, any place where consumers would be looking for the information. We try to get it out there. And this is the link that I put into the chat earlier for the Farmers Market Directory survey. If you have not already, I think we got pretty much everybody's, and I think there were a few stragglers, but please make sure that you are included. We want to help promote your farmers market and get the word out to consumers who are looking to shop at their local farmers markets during open season. We also do it a Spanish version as well. The Idaho Preferred website has become a go-to resource for consumers looking for local Idaho food and ag-related products. And on our website, you're going to find a number of different ways to locate different products and services. But for farmers markets, I think I need to backtrack here and just say that all farmers markets within the state of Idaho are complimentary members of the Idaho Preferred Program. And as a member of the program, you are entitled to all of these benefits that I'm talking about. And we launched, we dedicated a portion of our website to the Farmers Market Finder. And it was first launched August of 2022, ahead of Farmers Market Week, when we were still doing Farmers Market Week. And this landing page during that launch, just to show you how many people are looking, that landing page saw over 14,000 unique clicks. Of course, we could say there's probably more out there, but anyway, we do provide the Farmers Market Finder, and every farmers market in the state of Idaho does have its own unique website. You can search by region, you can search by, let me go back here. You can search by region, or you can search just, within, oh, it's not going to let me do that. Oh, here it is, yes. So you can search by region or by day of the week to find out which farmers market is near you. And then this is an example of what a member page looks like. We want, let's see here. Okay, there we go. My computer is acting funny. All right, so here's an example of what a member page looks like. We have the Kuski member page here. Go, Melissa. We want to be able to tell your story both visually and in words. We want to include your logo, so there's that immediate brand identification. Of course, your location and times of operation. Your member page will have the map with the locator pin and your social media call outs. So like I said, every farmer's market does have the opportunity to have a farmer's market website. And some farmer's markets don't even have a website. So they've used their market member page as their calling card, as their website for their marketing purposes. Now, something new that we started last year was Farmers Market Month. Now, this is happening during the month of August. Traditionally, Farmers Market Week is celebrated the first full week in August. And we found over the last couple of years that there are just too many farmers markets in the state of Idaho to only have 1 week dedicated to supporting and promoting all of the wonderful places throughout our state. Idaho is a big state. So we decided to extend that time frame within the state of Idaho and celebrate the entire month long. Now, what that celebration includes, it's pretty awesome, is we help, well, first of all, we get the governor's proclamation to have our state government, declare the importance of farmers markets to not only our economic, not only to the economy, but our overall quality of life as well. Farmers markets are, we don't need to tell you, but farmers markets are one of the best ways for farmers to get their products to consumers, and often the entry point of branching out and growing their marketplaces. So this year, we do we do the governor's proclamation. We also do a whole coordinated campaign. This video here was done last year by Guy Hand. I don't know if you can hear that. I didn't have the audio on. But anyway, videographer go out and put together these clips that then we use in our advertising to help promote farmers markets. And this is a wonderful way for farmers market managers to leverage marketing within their own communities. Social media is a very easy way to connect everyone together and get the word out within their own communities. Traditionally, we have sent out farmers market totes or tote bags to help kick off the celebration, and a little bit of farmers market fashion. You can see the buttons in my background here on my photo background and right here on this screen. But this year we have a new refreshed little logo. We're getting new tote bags to send out this year. And you can see here's an Idaho peach. It says, I'd prefer fresh from Idaho farmers markets. So we'll be sending these bags out to help kick off Farmers Market Month. In the past, some farmers market managers have used the tote bags to create community engagement. We've had some farmers market managers use it as incentive to collect newsletters or to collect email addresses to grow their newsletters. However, you get creative with it. We send out a box full of totes, and you can use it for your marketing. And here's examples of previous. Those are what the previous bags look like. But here's examples of previous farmers market celebrations and happy people using their farmers market totes at the farmers market. We do offer digital marketing kits and digital marketing assistance, as I mentioned earlier. During Farmers Market Month, we put together, well, for every promotion that we do at Idaho Preferred, we put together a digital marketing kit that includes not only cheat sheets, tips, and printables, but also social media graphics and captions that help you to participate in this coordinated campaign effort. Everything that you need to know about Farmers Market Month and how to use the promotion to your benefit and leverage the resources and tools that Idaho Preferred provides is available to you. And we send that out ahead of Farmers Market Month. In fact, when we put together your tote bag boxes, it will include all of this information in it as well. We do leverage social media to get the word out and spread awareness of Idaho agriculture and Idaho's farmers markets. This is just an example of our numbers for last year. We are a small but mighty team here at Idaho Preferred. It's me and Erica White, the program manager, and we try to leverage as much as we can to spread the word. And we find that social media marketing is a great way to get not only engagement from farmers market managers, but also the community and connect producers, managers, community together. So just some numbers from our Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And our if you don't follow us already, please do so. There's our user handles. And this is just an example of the power of collaboration. So I was talking about, connecting all of the key pieces with social media. Last year, well, and over the last couple of years, we've done a number of different collaborations with producers that have helped us reach over not only producers, but also influencers, sending influencers to farmers markets as well to connect their audiences to your audiences and spread the word about farmers markets across the state. Just last year, we were able to extend our reach over 1.42 million on social media alone through the power of collaborations. And these are just simple little things that we do. For instance, you see Tanya Quigley here of Homesteader Farms. This was just a quick snippet at Caldwell Night, Farm to Fork Farmers Market on a Tuesday night. And I just asked her in the spur of the moment to tell us how to select a melon at the farmers market. And that post had a pretty good, it went viral. It was fun. And then we had just a number of different things. Farmers tips are the easiest thing to do. At Nampa's farmers market last year, we had a zoodler, collaboration. Anyway, just simple little things that you can do to help market and promote your market on social media. Doesn't have to be elaborate, but that's one of the things that we provide technical assistance with. If you need help with that kind of thing, that's what we're here for. Another thing that we provide our members, our newsletter and email marketing. These are our stats for last year, just our distribution. We do both a member newsletter and a consumer newsletter. So our B2B and our B2C side of things. But if you're not already signed up for our member newsletter, which you should be, if you are, you're in our directory, you should have access to the member newsletter. Please let me know, because there's a lot of useful information that gets put out through our newsletter. Access to different grants, USDA grants, and other things as well. Educational opportunities, different collaborative opportunities. So we give a lot of information to our members through that. And then the consumer side really focuses more on the, obviously, the consumer aspect of it, of, where to find your farmers markets, what's in season, and agritourism in general. Got fun recipes, all that stuff. Okay, so farmers market managers, as members of Idaho Preferred, we do provide signage for your market booths to let people know that, this is you are an Idaho Preferred member, but not only that, it's about the importance of eating locally and supporting your local producers. We provide table tents, corrugated yard signs, countertop signs, vinyl banners. Those are, stretch across the back of your booth. We have a number of different things as well, and you can find our catalog for ordering these supplies, which are complimentary, on our website. And that's pretty much it. We are a small but mighty team. Erica White is the program manager, and me, Dawn, I'm marketing trade analyst, commerce analyst. And I just wanted to open up for any questions if anybody has any.
And Dawn, you and Erica have taken that program to the next level. It's so exciting. And I just thank you for continuing to prioritize farmers markets. And remember, you do not have to be an IFMA member to receive the benefits of Idaho Preferred. Just putting that out there, though we want you to join us.
Yeah. It's been a fun collaboration to work with IFMA. We're very proud to do so.
Great. And just a reminder, if you have not yet sent in your information for the directory, you have like one more day. Is that what you said?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do that ASAP. Wonderful. I'm going to bring up, Katie had to take off. I'm so sorry. We are running a little bit over. I thought we'd be done early, but we're not. So really quick, I'm just going to share what she wanted to share with you and give you her contact information. Because it's important, and I wanted to pass that on as another resource for you, in addition to the amazing resources presented by Idaho Preferred. So Fair Idaho is the organization that Katie is the executive director of. And I know you're probably seeing it a little bit different right now, but that's okay. I'm just going to go through it real quick. So Fair Idaho was developed during the pandemic as a way to connect and to represent the food and beverage community and strengthen local food systems. And they've included producers, food producers, farmers markets in this, and with the idea that we can achieve more together. So it's really a trade organization for these different groups that really have had no representation in Idaho as far as their industry goes. So they've done a lot of really great things. If you've been to the Field to Fork Festival in downtown Boise, if you've been to one of their other trainings or their chef meetups around the state, then you have engaged with them. Some things that she wanted me to point out is that Fair is, they do have that local farmers market promotion program grant this year. They're also involved in our regional food business center grant that's multi-state. So there are going to be opportunities for some of your vendors that maybe are food producers and want to scale up into a brick and mortar. There is going to be some funding and some development programs for that, which is really exciting. If your market is a member of the IFMA, you can join Fair for $25 a year and be represented by them. I mean, and the thing is about their organization is they are allowed to lobby and advocate, whereas the Farmers Market Association cannot, University of Idaho cannot, if many of your nonprofits cannot. So it might be worth it to join Fair simply because they have the power to advocate, and they advocate loudly, and they don't back down. They're really a great organization potentially for you to join. The other thing is that Katie does have that funding to help up to 20 small farmers markets and or farms with that marketing assistance like they were offering us. If you like our logo, once we get our website refresh, that is being provided to us free of charge through that grant. So the email address would be hello@fairidaho.org. So you can put that in and get a hold of her if that's something that you would like to do. So that is what she wanted to present, and would have presented a lot better than I am. But I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to put that email. It's hello@ hello@fairidaho.org, and you can reach out to us. So I am going to post the recording of this, not probably on a YouTube on an unlisted section, and make it available to you if you need to go back and revisit any. And I can also send out a follow-up email with some of the flyers and attachments that we shared. We are really, really grateful to you for joining us for 2.5 hours of your busy time. We wish you the very best market season. We'll stay around on the call as long as you want to chat or have questions, but I want to respect those of you that did not commit over 2.5 hours to hanging out with us today. But thank you, thank you, thank you, and have a great year.
Thank you.